What's up everybody? About 6 months ago, I actually made a video saying 10 reasons why Shenmue 3 will succeed. And I still stand by those reasons, and there was a lot of people that were negative Nancys and naysayers that still doubted this game and are still saying, oh, this game's gonna fail, it's gonna be a flop. Especially after the whole Epic Game Store announcement. So a lot of people are just super negative about the whole situation. And you know what? I decided to make another video explaining 10 more reasons why Shenmue 3 will succeed. Reason number 1 is replayability. For the first time ever in a Shenmue game, you'll be able to do a new game plus. After you complete the game, you can go and replay it with new things, or maybe you can use things that you've gained along the first time that you played through. Also, for the first time in a Shenmue game, there's going to be multiple difficulty levels. And that's sure to please a lot of people that like to go back and play the game in the most challenging way possible. The first two Shenmue games were pretty linear in terms of what their difficulty was and what you had to do to progress through the game. So for people that like more of a challenge, they will have that option with Shenmue 3. They can pump it up to the highest difficulty level and really get the most out of the game before Part 4 comes out. Reason number 2 is that Shenmue 3, according to Yu Suzuki, has the most recorded voice dialogue of any game ever made. He wasn't specific in terms of how many lines of dialogue there actually are, but in his mind, he believes that Shenmue 3 has more voice dialogue than any game ever made to this date. Whether or not that's true, it's safe to assume that it has a lot. A whole lot. More than the first two Shenmue games, if you can actually believe it. And you can talk to literally every single person in the first two games. There's tons of dialogue, especially for way back then when they were made. Shenmue 3 has even more. Not only has the quantity increased, but the quality has also increased. Corey Marshall has stated publicly that he feels that Ryo has more depth to him now as a character, and he has 18 years of additional acting experience to add on to the character and to really utilize his full talents as a voice actor for the voice of Ryo. That's going to be great. Reason number 3 is accessibility. So if you lived in the United States and Shenmue 2 came out, the only option you had to play the game was to either import it from Europe, which could cost anywhere up to $150, or you could play it on the Xbox. It wasn't available on the GameCube, it wasn't available on the Dreamcast, it wasn't available on the PS2. The only option you had to play it officially was through the original Xbox. And the original Xbox wasn't exactly the most popular platform, the most popular console at the time, so the user base was already pretty small for the Xbox. There was kind of a niche group of players that had the Xbox, but Shenmue 2 was even more of a niche game, so it was kind of like a niche game on a niche console, and it really didn't have a great chance of succeeding in the United States because of that reason alone. But I'm sure glad it came out on some console in the United States, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to play it at all unless we imported it. But Shenmue 3 is going to be available on the PC, on the PS4, which is by far the most popular console currently. And of course, almost everybody has a PC that's capable of running Shenmue, and it's going to be available both physically and digitally. So no matter where you are, no matter where you live, you'll be able to purchase this game right as it comes out. Unless you don't have an internet connection, then sucks to be you. Reason number 4 is that the weather system in Shenmue 3 has been completely revamped. So Shenmue 1 and 2 had their own unique weather systems, where some days it'd be rainy, some days it'd be perfectly sunny, some days partly cloudy. So and that was pretty cool because it made the world feel more alive. You felt like you're more immersed in the world. Shenmue 3 actually has a more robust weather system where there's multiple types of rain and multiple variations of rain. So some days it'll be light rain, some days heavy rain. Sometimes it'll rain in the morning, and then throughout the rest of the day it'll be muddy when you walk through the town and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot more immersive, in my opinion, having this new weather system, and it's going to feel more alive, it's going to feel more realistic, and I can't wait to see how each gameplay experience for every player is going to be a little bit different. Reason number 5 is the delays. Love them or hate them, delays are a thing. Video game delays are a thing that we have to deal with, and honestly, whenever they first announced the Kickstarter for Shenmue 3 and they announced the original date of December 2017, I thought that was way too early. I was like, please delay this game. If they actually released a game in December of 2017, it would be a total disaster. It wouldn't look good, it wouldn't play good, it'd be missing basic features, it would just be bad all around. So I was actually happy to hear that they had delayed it. to December of 2018, I thought, okay, a whole another year to help develop this game is exactly what the game needs. And of course, it's seen 2 more delays since then. So the current release date is November 19th, 2019, as everybody knows by now. But the game has only benefited from these delays. All these delays have been put in place not because of development problems, like they can't figure out how to implement a certain system or something like that. It's only been used to polish the game in terms of the graphics, the gameplay, the sound, everything has been only made better because of the delays. So in that sense, I'm perfectly happy waiting till November. If they delay it again, which on a personal level, I hope that they don't delay it again. But at the same time, if they do, I understand that it will be because they're trying to make the game as perfect as it can be. I don't think it's going to be delayed anymore, but I've said that before and I was wrong, so I don't want to jinx it. Reason number 6 is that Shenmue 3 is not only launching on the most popular platform, the most popular console, which is the PlayStation 4, but it's also releasing at the end of the console lifespan, the end of the console life cycle, so to speak. So the PlayStation 5 is expected to be announced next year. Who knows when the release date is? It'll probably be either late next year or the next year after that. But either way, we're getting pretty close to the end of the current generation of consoles, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. The good news is that developers have really had a lot of time to figure out how to take full advantage of the hardware, and at the same time, more people own PlayStation 4 consoles than ever before. This is the exact perfect time to release a game for a console as a console exclusive when the most people are going to be able to play your game on the console. So I think it's a great time. If they had launched Shenmue 3 right as soon as the PlayStation first launched, it definitely wouldn't do as well commercially as it would have if they released it in November. So I think Shenmue 3 has the best chance of succeeding this late in the console's life cycle. This is a good thing. Reason number 7 is that the economy in Shenmue 3 is all interconnected. It's a lot more connected than it was in the first 2 games. So from a gameplay perspective, this is actually a good thing because it gives players the freedom to be able to progress the story and progress through the game in a way that is more unique to their playstyle. So if someone just really loves fishing, then they could just fish all day long and then trade their fish for, you know, tokens or whatever it is they want to do to get access to the next item they need to progress the story, whether it's a martial arts scroll or some other item, where you can go with the turtle races or you can go with gambling. There's just so many choices in Shenmue 3, and the cool thing is no matter which one you decide to go with, you can progress through the game doing what you want to do and not the game forcing you to do something that you don't want to. Reason number 8 is DLC. By now, we all know that Shenmue 3 will at some point be receiving DLC. No idea what the DLC is. It could be clothing, it could be martial arts scrolls, it could be like a new side quest. I have no idea what's in store for the DLC, but the good news is that it will generate more sales, more revenue for the developer, more sales for the publisher. So the more funds that they receive from the initial game sale and the DLC, the more money they'll have to be able to invest into a sequel, Shenmue 4, Shenmue 5. I definitely think that the series will be finished with Shenmue 3 being a brand new beginning. I know there's some hardcore Shenmue fanatics out there that will buy literally every single piece of DLC that's available for this game. I don't know if I would be buying every single one. It depends on what it is, I guess. If it's a side quest, absolutely. If it's clothing, it would have to be amazing. Reason number 9, speaking of DLC, clothes. For the first time ever in a Shenmue game, you can change your clothes. Ryo Hazuki can wear more than just his white t-shirt with his leather jacket and blue jeans. So, I don't know what kind of clothing they're gonna have here, but this is really cool because a lot of players like to customize the way they look in games, not just, you know, single player games, but multiplayer games also. The look of the character that you're using in a game is very important to a lot of people, and to give players the ability to change their look is only going to help the game, it's only going to help its popularity and the overall enjoyability of the game. Personally, I would like to see Ryo in a black leather jacket, maybe a different emblem on the back, put some sunglasses on, you know, something cool like that. Just change it up a little bit, but make it still feel like you're in the 1980s. And last but not least, we have reason number 10, which is the acclaim this game has received. Almost every single video game journalist or publication out there that's played Shenmue 3 at E3 had nothing but good things to say about it. And the bad things they had to say about it were just very minor, like, the combat feels a little bit wonky or something like that. But overall, the feeling was very good. very good vibes. Almost everybody says it feels like Shenmue. It feels like Shenmue is back. This is the sequel. This is the game we wanted. It's perfect. It was basically unanimous in the fact that everybody says that it feels like Shenmue except better. It feels like Shenmue, but the controls were more responsive. The camera you had more control over. And of course the graphics and the sound were all better. Some major red flags would be going up if everyone jumped on board and said, wow, this is looking like it needs to be delayed again, like the controls are off, the graphics are off, there was glitching and all kinds of crazy stuff, but nobody said anything about that. Everyone was pretty much on board with the fact that this game is going to be great, it looks great, it feels like Shenmue, and this is the game that we've always wanted to play after beating Part 2 all those years ago. So there you go, there's another 10 reasons video why Shenmue 3 will be a success. And when I say a success, I don't mean it's going to break all the sales records and be the #1 best-selling video game ever created. But it will be successful enough to where the developer, the publisher, will get enough money, enough funds to be able to fund and build the sequels. We will be able to finish the Shenmue saga in our lives. Shenmue 3 is a new beginning. It will happen, absolutely. Also, thank you very much for watching up to this point. I do want to mention my Teespring store, so please check it out if you haven't already. I've added a new design on there called My Other Car is a Forklift. Check it out, it's available in multiple colors and multiple sizes. So yeah, have a look. I've got some other Shenmue shirts also on the store, as well as some other things like Stick It to the Man. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It really makes my day, and I'll see you in the next video.